Yeah, hello, this is Don Ames, and this is another Guess What's in the Picture. Basically, I'd say, as I look at this picture, what we really have is a mess. Let me point out a few things. This is a knee wall attic space. Now, you don't need to have an old home or a newer home in order to have a knee wall attic space. You'll probably have a two-story home, though, where you have a room upstairs. What are we looking at here? This is our roof line. This is our roof truss. This is the floor of the attic space, which is also the ceiling of the room below, and this is our knee wall. This also adds support to the roof trusses and forms the wall of the room that is adjacent. So, how are we going to handle this in order for energy efficiency and lower power bills to take place? Here's what I'd do. First thing I'd do is I'd take this old insulation, I'd take it down and I'd take it outside and get ready to dispose of it. The next thing I would do is I'd get some 13-gallon plastic kitchen bags, and I'd take some of that old insulation and I'd put it in the bags, and then I'd bring those bags up here and I would stuff a bag underneath this wall between the joists in each joist space all the way along, because I want to seal the air from being able to flow from this attic space underneath the floor clear over to the other side of the house. And after I get a bag put in each one of those, I'm going to take my can of spray foam, insulating foam, like a great stuff, and I'm going to take and spray foam the plastic bag to the joist space to the wood so that I air seal that off completely. And then while I've got that can in my hands, I'm going to air seal this wall. Everywhere there's a wire or a plumbing or an outlet fixture, I'm going to air seal so that air cannot penetrate the wall. Then let's go get some brand new R13 craftback insulation and install it in the knee wall. We're going to install it nice and smooth. We're going to put it tight to the bottom and tight to the top, and we're going to have the paper, the craft brown paper, next to the wall so that when we're all done, what we're going to see is the nice pink or yellow fiberglass insulation. And then I'm going to take an air barrier like a house wrap, a Typar or Tyvek, and I'm going to staple it along here, staple it along the top, staple it each one of these studs so that I do two things. One is I hold the insulation in nice and tight and neat for years to come, plus I create an additional air barrier. The next thing we're going to do is to take these boards out of here, move the planks, take them outside and get ready to recycle them, and then I'm going to take along the eave, and everywhere there's an air vent or an opening that allows air to come in to this attic space, I'm going to put a baffle there, whether it's a foam baffle or a cardboard baffle, so that when I spray insulation in here and I fill this up with insulation, I will still have an airspace that will be able to function between the outside and will come in next to the roof and then into the attic space, and the insulation won't be allowed to fill it or cover it over. So now we've got our baffles in place. I'm going to take my spray foam and I'm going to air seal the floor of this attic space. So we've got our air sealing done, we've got our baffles in place, we've got our wall insulated, and now we're going to bring in loose fill fiberglass insulation, and I'm going to fill it up in here about 16 inches. It's going to cover all of these joists. I'm going to fill it nice and full all the way along. Now we've identified our air barrier, we've identified our thermal barrier, which is along the floor and up the wall. They're next to each other. We'll have a well-insulated attic, and we're going to save energy, and we're going to lower that power bill. The only other thing I want to warn you about is if you have a ceiling fan or a recessed light that is coming up through the floor of this knee wall attic space, you may need to take special precautions to either air seal it off and how you're going to do that, and whether or not you can put insulation right up to it or not. You may need to leave a little airspace. This has been Don Ames. This is DetectEnergy. This has been Guess What's in the Picture. I hope you have learned how to have a well-insulated knee wall attic space. Have yourself an energy efficient day.